Hey there. So what we're gonna do today is another recipe, and it's an Italian recipe, which is weird for me because I don't usually do Italian food. I usually do French food, but I don't know. I wanted to do a pasta because I see a lot of crazy things happening with pasta, and I think there's actually better ways you can do it that take less time and make more sense and save you money in some cases. So basically, what I'm going to do today is called spaghetti alla crudo, and I think that's right. My Italian is bad. I mean, my French is bad, but I at least know a little bit more because I normally stick to that stuff. But what it is basically spaghetti with a raw tomato sauce. Kind of raw. It's lightly cooked. Anyway, but it's a really interesting tomato that we're going to be using. It's a variety called the Coeur de boeuf tomato, and it means the heart of the bull. Heart of the bull, and you'll see it's very interesting, and maybe it's a specialty thing that they might have in the summer for a few months of the week at maybe like if you're in Markham at least, a village grocer or something, but a high-end grocery store. But anyway, you can use San Marzano tomatoes are great, and then Roma tomatoes if you can't find those. Basically, you're looking for tomato with a lot of pulp, not a lot of seeds, a really great flavor. But what we got to do first is we got to take the skin off the tomato, and there's a really cool chef's trick to do that. And basically, what you do is once you get your water boiling for the pasta, you basically throw the tomato in the water for 15 seconds. Cool it down in an ice bath or cold running water, and then the skin will just peel off. And you'll see I'm just waiting for my water to boil, and I'll be right back when it comes to a boil. Okay, so my water's boiling. I'm just going to take my tomato, and I'm going to stick it in the water for 15 seconds. And just while that's going on, it's summer right now, and I mean, tomatoes are great in the summer. I can't stress enough that they're not so great in the winter. It's important to stay seasonal because the flavor is just simply better. If you're in the winter time, go with canned tomatoes. Don't go with fresh tomatoes. They're not going to be that good. Anyway, it's almost coming up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I think that's... Yeah, I'm just going to run under cold water right now. Be right back. And what the cold water does is it stops the cooking. You don't really want to cook the tomato, you just want to be able to remove the skin. And as you can see, the skin just comes right off. It's pretty easy and pretty amazing, actually. And so basically why I'm removing the skin is that I'm doing the sauce as if I was in a restaurant. And I'm sure you've all had tomato sauces where you get these like rolled up pieces of skin that are just annoying to eat, and I don't know. You don't want eating to be annoying. That's what I find. Anyway, so now I'm just gonna what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna chop the tomato, and give me a second. I just gotta wipe my hands. I usually have my cloth with me. Anyway, so here is everything that I have. You can see my computer. But basically, before we chop the tomato, we're going to throw in 30 grams of salt. And why 30 grams? Well, we're going to be using 300 grams of pasta, and for every 100 grams of pasta, you want a liter of water. And for every liter of water, you want 10 grams. So 30 grams of salt, 3 liters of water, 300 grams of pasta. That's the ratios you want to be using. So pour that salt in. And you want salted water. Why? Well, because if you don't have salted water, your pasta is going to be bland as anything. In Italy, back in the day, they were probably using seawater, which is salty. So, I mean, you got to have the salt in there, or else it's just no good. So we're going to be using spaghetti, and let's see, 300 grams. I measured it out before, so yeah, that's about 150. Now, I see a lot of people doing some crazy stuff, like adding oil to the water. Oil floats on water, so there's no point of adding oil to water. You're just wasting your oil. It's not going to do anything about helping it not stick. Now, what is going to help it not stick is that as soon as you throw your pasta in the water, you got to start moving it around. And this is also another thing. I see a lot of people that are breaking the pasta to fit in the pot. You don't need to break it. Just wait. Just be patient. It will eventually go in there. So you want to stir it, because as soon as that pasta hits the water, the starch is getting released from the pasta, and that's what makes it stick. So get it moving, and it won't stick. You don't need to use oil. You don't need to waste money on oil. Okay, so the pasta's going, and the box says what? Who cares what the box says? Because we're going to taste it. The box is always wrong. It's always about a minute or two off. You want it al dente. But right now, we've got to work on our sauce. You might be thinking, oh, how are we going to work on our sauce? Our pasta's cooking away. No, our sauce is going to be done by the time we're done with the pasta. And let's see. Let's get a good angle. Yeah, okay, that's good enough. Basically what we're going to be doing now is we're chopping up the tomato. And we're going to be removing the seeds because, well, look, there's almost no seeds because this is a Coeur de boeuf tomato. And they're great. They don't have many seeds. And that's what you're looking for in a sauce tomato. You don't want that many seeds. And these tomatoes are just fantastic. Great pulp. Almost no seeds whatsoever. I'm just going to chop off that green end. But, yeah. So I just roughly chop it. This is a very rustic sauce. And what we do is we get a pan. And we just are going to put the tomatoes in the pan. Let's go. Let's not make a mess. Oh, we made a mess. I'll clean that up in a second. Okay. Oh, I see some green. That's no good. Okay. So our tomatoes are in the pan. Add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, as always with Italian food. And then I've chopped one cipollini onion. Just throw that in. And I've taken a clove of garlic and I've just smushed it and with the back of the knife. And that's going to release the aroma components. I'm going to take that garlic out. I don't like to eat garlic so much. And with this sauce, it's not going to cook really in time. But basically, all we're going to do is add a little bit of pepper. And anyone who knows me knows I don't use a lot of pepper. I just use what I think is enough. And a 2 pinch of salt. And now here's the cool part. We're going to cook this sauce on top of the pasta pot. And I'll show you what I mean right like that. See? That's how it's going to cook. And our pasta's been going for 2 minutes. And in another maybe 2 minutes or so, I'm going to check the pasta and see if it's done. In the meantime, the sauce is going to cook. The tomatoes are going to break down. And you're going to have a good sauce. Trust me. And we'll come back in 2 minutes.